Hello everyone, welcome back to this channel. Before we start our topic today, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Definition. What is government debt actually? State debt is the amount of money that must be paid by the central government and or the obligation of the central government which can be valued in money based on applicable laws and regulations, agreements, or based on other valid reasons.
Why is the state in debt?
Seconds left. Left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up.
Why the state must be in debt? There are 4 factors. First, maintaining momentum and avoiding opportunity loss. There are expenditure needs that cannot be postponed. For example, the provision of health facilities and food security. Delaying financing will actually result and greater costs or losses in the future. The current development financing opportunity is optimized to close the gap in infrastructure provision and increase Indonesia's Human Development Index or HDI, which is still relatively lagging behind other countries. The increase in HDI can be met, among others, by increasing the education, health, and social protection sectors. Second is giving legacy good assets for the next generations. A good legacy arises when debt is used to finance productive and beneficial things for the future generations, such as spending on infrastructure and education. Financing spending needs through debt is an investment that can fulfill intergenerational equity because it is inheriting assets for the future generation, or the golden rule. The third is maintaining and accelerating economic growth. With a debt policy, the Indonesian economy is able to grow at its current level. A study by the Fiscal Policy Agency states that if the debt to GDP ratio is held at the level of 23%, the average economic growth for 2013 to 2016 will be below 5%. Maintaining the debt to GDP ratio at 23% means eliminating the opportunity for job creation of 150 to 200,000 people in the 2013 to 2016 period. The fourth is developing financial market. Government debt instruments traded on financial markets are used as benchmarks for the financial industry. Issuance of government debt instruments is an alternative investment offered to the public. Bank Indonesia's monetary operations were also supported through the issuance of government debt instruments. The backwardness of infrastructure and connectivity problems led to high economic costs that must be borne by the community to the low national competitiveness. This is the basis for the government to accelerate infrastructure development in order to catch up and increase economic growth. Currently, the government is taking an expansionary fiscal policy where state expenditures are greater than state revenues to encourage the economy to continue to grow. Before we continue this material, please take a note about this part, because this part will help you to more understand next materials. This is a differences between creditors. A debitor is a party who owes a debt to another party, usually by receiving something from a creditor that the debtor must promises to repay in the future. Creditor is a party or individual, organization, company, or government that has one or more claims to a second party for the property or services it has provided, in the form of a contract or agreement, where it is agreed that the second party will return the property of the same value. In types of central government debt, there are two types of debt. First is loans. Loans are financing through debt obtained by the government from domestic or foreign lenders, which are bound by a loan agreement and are not in the form of state securities, which must be repaid with certain conditions. And second is SBN, or Surat Berharga Negara. Its government securities SBN are securities issued by the government to finance the state budget. In loans, there are two types of loans. First is domestic loans, and second is foreign loans or external debt. Does government debt have a negative impact on society?
3 minutes left.
Debt is a good thing if it is managed properly. Every rupiah of debt made by the government is used to finance productive activities and investments in the long term, such as building infrastructure, financing education, and health, which in the long term will have a multiplier impact for the future generations. Now, we move to domestic loans. Domestic loans are types of loans made by the government obtained from domestic lenders. In this case, the BUMN or regional government, which must be repaid with certain conditions according to the validity period. Who are the creditors in domestic loans in Indonesia? The creditors in domestic loans in Indonesia are: first is BUMN, second is regional government. So, the government can apply for loans to these two institutions, of course with some legal provisions. Please mention the countries that has given the most loans to Indonesian government until now.
3 minutes left.
Singapore, which is located close to Indonesia, is in the first place to provide the most debt loans to Indonesia, where Singapore provided assistance to Indonesia amounting to 68.02 billion US dollars. This is because Indonesia and Singapore have a very strong bond of friendship, so they always help each other. USA, The United States of America turned out to be in the second row in providing the most debt loans to Indonesia. Uncle Sam's country provides a loan of 30.82 billion US dollars to the state of Indonesia. Japan, which once colonized Indonesia, also stepped down to help provide loans to Indonesia in the amount of 28.15 billion US dollars. Even though these two countries used to have a very bitter past, now Japan and Indonesia have become like enemies who are finally friends. The two countries have established various cooperations in many fields, and Indonesia is in debt to Japan for participating in providing loans to Indonesia. China. This country, dubbed the Bamboo Curtain, has often been heard of with various assistance to Indonesia. The Chinese state provided a loan to Indonesia of 21.545 billion US dollars. So, it is not surprising that this country is included in the ranks of countries that give the most debt to Indonesia. The last is Hong Kong. Hong Kong, which is known as a small country in the world and has a good economy, also helps provide loans to Indonesia to advance the country. This country provides loans to Indonesia as much as 13.224 billion US dollars. We move to Indonesia external debt or foreign loans. What is the definition about that? Indonesia's external debt or foreign loans is the actual obligation position of Indonesia residents to non-residents at the time, excluding contingencies which require repayment of interest and or principal in the future. Or, external debt is defined as the debt of a resident who is domiciled in an economic territorial area to a non-resident. Or, external debt is any state revenue either in the form of foreign exchange and or foreign exchange converted into rupiah, or in the form of goods and or services obtained from foreign lenders that must be repaid with certain conditions. Factors that causing the external debt or foreign loans. They are current account deficit, increasing demand for investment, rising inflation, and inefficient economic structure. Who are the creditors in external debt in Indonesia?
Left.
Who are the creditors and debitors in external debt in Indonesia? The debitors in external debt in Indonesia, even though it is said to be Indonesia's external debt, however, not all external debt or loans come from the government. There are also non-government institutions that make foreign loans. In public sector, they are government and central bank. In private sector, they are financial institution and non-financial institution. But why non-government including in Indonesia external debt? That is because, back to the definition again, external debt is defined as the debt of a resident who is domiciled in an economic territorial area to a non-resident. So, that's including non-government, not just government. The creditors in external debt in Indonesia. They are multilateral creditors, are international financial institutions consisting of several countries, including Indonesia, which provide loans to the government. Bilateral creditors are foreign loans originating from the government of a country through a financial institution and or non-financial institution appointed by the government of the country concerned to carry out lending. And a commercial creditor is a foreign loan obtained with conditions applicable in the market and without any guarantee from an export credit guarantee institution. Utilization of foreign loans or external debt. Cash loans. Cash loans can be in the form of program loans, standby loans, short-term liquidity financing, contingency financing, capital financing, and others, the disbursement of which is in the cash. Activity loans represents loans used to finance certain activities. This activity can be tangible, or development or procurement, or intangible, or capacity building, or scholarship. Concessional loans is government foreign loans in the context of financing development projects. Concessional loans are usually obtained from countries that are members of the CGI and non-CGI frameworks. Purchase Installment Sale Agreement, or PISA, which is a loan provided by a leasing company to finance certain development projects, which is stated in the form of a sale and purchase agreement with installment payments. The amount of the PISA loan is 100% of the project value. Commercial loans, namely loans received with terms determined based on money market conditions and international capital markets. This loan is also commonly called a cash loan because the loan is received in the cash and its use is more flexible or non-binding. The number of commercial loans is generally large because the lender is a syndicate whose members consist of banks and international financial institutions. What is the positive impact of external debt?
Minutes left.
The positive impact of the external debt or foreign loans. There are infrastructure development for developing countries. In developing countries, the state requires various developments for infrastructure, facilities, and infrastructure